get ready with me for my day. I'm kind of excited. I got a busy day, kind of. Maybe not. But we'll go to the movies later, which I'm so excited about, and I will be wanting to talk to... I just realised I don't have water, so... Hold that thought, people. Gotta stay hydrated because I am so tired at the moment, and I'm in my luteal phase. I can barely speak. And I'm so tired. I've been having late nights and not looking after myself. And that is just not good for your skin. So I just need to get back on track. But today, my husband has actually just messaged me, but that was not in regards to dinner tonight. It was regards to Valentine's Day, which is so exciting. I just love any kind of holiday, really. But tonight, we're going to the movies. We're seeing 28 Years Later. I have been so excited because this is the Bone Temple. So last year, 2025, the 28 Years Later came out. And that was only like 6 months ago, and I have just been so excited and waiting for the Bone Temple because it's got our brother Jack O'Connell, who, if you don't know from Skins, you might know from Sinners. Obviously, he's the evil vampire. However, in the Bone Temple, he plays a Scottish person, survivor, so to speak, who has apparently maybe started a cult, and they wear blonde wigs, and they do karate, jiu-jitsu, I don't know, they're flipping around, and there's some kind of Teletubbies reference which I don't fully understand. Anyway, I've been so excited for this, and I would have gone last night. I was actually a little bit sad I couldn't go last night because, not that I didn't want to, but they were playing it in the Junior, which is the worst cinema ever. The seats are so uncomfortable, and obviously you're so far away from the screen because you've got the Junior part up the front. Anyway, I'm also playing my Raid at the moment. Since I last spoke to anyone about Raid, there wasn't a Grim Forest. So now there is a Grim Forest, which I have been investigating, and it's kind of fun. Just get extra resources like within the game, so it's a fun way to do that. So let me just set that up. But anyway, so yeah, so I couldn't go in the advanced screenings because it was going to be in Junior, and I can kind of tell if it's going to be in Junior by the seating layout. So anyways, I had to go tonight and take my family tonight. We're going to be in one of the smaller cinemas, so there's only like 5 rows, which is ideal. I saw Sinners a couple of times in the smaller cinemas, and they're just so good. The seats recline as well, and thank God for Village, because I spent many years going to Readings, which is great if you want a deal, but dear God, that's not comfortable. I have just been so excited for that, and just excited for the fun and the twists, because I mean, how psycho could Teletubby lovers actually be? But other than that, I also have had a shoe delivery, so I've been so excited. So I'm going to film an unboxing of those shoes after I film this video, and I also have a couple of videos to edit, but sometimes it's hard to know. Like, sometimes I will just absolutely delete content. Like, I don't know, if I feel like I film it and then I feel a bit like deflated afterwards, then I will just like bin the whole thing because I don't want to be triggered by that memory of that feeling. So it's all very deep stuff. As for my makeup routine lately, I have been spicing it up. I've been using these concealers by Kylie Cosmetics, which I really liked. However, they can be drying if you don't have quite the right base, and they can look a bit cakey. So do I use that today? Don't know. I also have this Victoria Beckham, which I got for Christmas, which is the primer. So it's like an iridescent, actually looks like strobe cream. I'm gonna use the Kylie Jenner because my skin is feeling very plump. If you're experiencing any dryness, then I don't know, but I wouldn't use this. But they do have the cutest little doe foot applicators, and a little bit goes a long way, so I can already tell I've used way too much. This is in 1C, which is a little bit too light for me normally. It makes me look like a bit of a cadaver because it does have that pink undertone. I also have the shade 2W, which is a warmer shade, which would also be very nice if I were tan, which I would love to tan. I should have done that today, but it's too late now. It's too late. I've already done a lot of hard work. So I just blend those together to create a slightly warmer kind of a look to the concealer, so I do not look like a cadaver. I have been loving this teeny little Charlotte Tilbury brush, and so I went out and I bought a pack of Morphe brushes, and I got this one here, which is the M106 foundation, because I thought it's a similar type of flat top brush, but this, I have no idea what Charlotte's putting in this brush. This just blends so smoothly and like really gets it into the skin, whereas I haven't had the same effect with the Morphe one. Not that I hate the Morphe one, but it's definitely not as good as the Charlotte Tilbury one. So, but I'm going to blend this out with a, well, this isn't a beauty blender, this is actually the Chi Chi sponge, because I had got a pack of those in my stocking as well. So anyway, I just need to moisten up my sponge a little bit. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury one, which is definitely a waste of product. I should have just used water, but I'm too lazy. Does that look nice to you? Because it looks pretty nice to me. If you add that, if you use a sponge, you just get that kind of iridescent look. But if I use a brush, anything other than the Charlotte Tilbury brush, then it does look a little dry. Boom. Ready to go. Imagine if I was one of those girls that could just put on concealer and like leave the house. I have never been her, trust me. I am multitasking right now. Oh my gosh, rank that up. I've got my raid. You're really gonna shake this up. Oh, but this is obviously Victoria Beckham. I like, honestly, any, like, obvious, well, hang on, let me get my thoughts straight. So any photo that I take wearing this is absolutely stunning, like so friggin' good, like OMG. Couldn't recommend it enough. I've never seen anything that makes my skin have that really glass reflection. It literally looks like I'm wearing a filter, so that's always nice. I have just sucked up all that product with my sponge because it's not wet enough, and I'm just using it as generously as I need to, because I'm not doing that thing where I'm waiting or saving it for a special occasion or anything, because then I just never use it up. So that's what I found with a lot of my makeup. I've had another clear out. I recently filmed a like empties and products I'm getting rid of, and then I found some more things and I was like, actually I'm gonna get rid of those as well. Definitely was a time where I'd be buying products and, you know, saving them for a special occasion or saving them for something special, or not touching them because they were too nice. Not necessarily expensive, but just like how I felt about them. It was like I was really connecting emotionally and therefore not using the product, which just simply doesn't make sense. So now that I've like cleared out and got rid of a lot of stuff, it's kind of like, wow, I wish I had have just used it when I would have gotten like joy out of it. Now can you just see, like, that is some good coverage. So that's why I'm not scrimping on my Victoria Beckham, because this is my favorite product, overall product, and has been, oh, I got a, is that a brush here? Maybe. Oh, that looks good, bitch. Anyway, so that's why I'm not scrimping and trying to save my Victoria Beckham, because what if I did that and then I was like, oh, I don't like it anymore, and so now I'm going to move on to another product, and you just spent fucking $200 or however much this stuff cost. I have been also very tired and staying up late because I get obsessed about things and I ruminate for long periods and really overthink things. And we are wanting to plan a trip to Japan. I mean, isn't everyone, that is like the trendy thing to do, but you know, like a lot of people, that is just top of the list kind of destination for myself and for my family. But if I just speak for myself for a second, it's definitely like a top of the list destination, and it's something that I wanted to do pre-COVID, and the flights on Jetstar were $500 return each. And it just makes you think, fuck, I should have spent the money at the time. But I didn't, so it's all good. It's no dramas. All I'm trying to do and all I'm trying to suggest, at this is a dream destination, something we're wanting to do. And so this is what we're trying to tee up. So we're trying to organise the right time, you know, potentially around school holidays, and there's just so many things to consider, and I get so overwhelmed and I overthink, and it really just tuckers me out, all of the emotional labour that goes into travelling, which is another reason that I'm not a big, like, travel person. It's like, of course I would love to travel, but there's so much that goes into it, you know, the invisible labor of women, so to speak. So it's just a lot of effort, and I love being at home. But in any case, I've been thinking about this trip, and so today I did allocate some time to think about it and mull it over. I watched a couple of TikToks, and I've even got like a book now. So I've got like I got a hang on, I got an empty exercise book. Do you see how long? I'm so tired, but that's how long it's taken to get to any thoughts around here. I'm actually using the Victoria Beckham Flushed Stain. When I got this looked like it'd been used a little bit, so I was a bit disappointed in that. But I do really like this colour. This is a perfect colour, and it's a nice little, for me it's like a stain. Obviously it's a stain, but it's just a nice little base for my other face finishing products, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And I don't mind going all the way around the head. Forehead, what I would actually like at the moment is a new cream contour. I should actually get this one out because I've got my Makeup by Mario one, which is a balm, which is really nice and it looks really good, but it's just a very big package and it's a lot of products, so it makes me feel a little bit bad. It's literally 5 grams. And it just makes me feel bad because it's like I'm never going to use all this. Like I would like this in a smaller travel size, like a stick form, which I'm going to show you the other product that I'm using over top. But this is in the shade Light Medium, and they call this the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. And as you can see on my pale skin, just gives a little bit of a warmth without fully doing too much. And I love this brush. This is a Morphe one, and this is M242, and it comes in the portrait set. And I was just looking out for cat hairs, and it comes in that set, the portrait set, and it is just perfect, like just really fits on the neck. I'm just blending that down because as you can see I got a bit of discoloration here because the sun doesn't hit my neck, and it's just so nice on the face. This is more of a stippling, so it's got the different length fibers, that's why it's a different color up the top, so I think that's why it does perform a little bit differently to like this flat top style. I filmed a haul recently which I need to edit today, or maybe we'll just never see it, but essentially I picked up the Westman Atelier lit up highlight sticks. I got 2 shades. These are the travel size, so they work out to maybe like 40 bucks each from Mecca. I think that you can buy their products directly from like Westman, but I don't think that price wise or shipping wise, if you only want 1 or 2 things, Mecca is still probably the better option. But I got the little lit up sticks, and this one here is in the shade Petal. Now bear in mind this is a highlighting shade, so this is the really glossy version of Petal, which is their blush shade, and then this is Nectar, which is a peachier kind of balmy glowy shade. So they're not true highlighters in the sense of like having glitter and stuff in them, but they just create this lovely balmy finish on the skin. And because I'm so fair, I can use Petal as like maybe an individual blush, but I use it as a blush like topper. So you can actually apply it straight on the skin because it is very balmy, but I just really love this brush at the moment, so that's why I'm going this way. And you can see I'm just putting it on the tops of my cheeks, that's where I like it. And even though that's meant to be a highlight, you can see on me, you can really see that pigment. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I've just like mushed it a bit. Oh no. That would be me though, ruining something I like. ASAP. Anyway, so let's just get that on. Maybe I have a bit of blush blindness today. It's nice to do something like that sometimes. Ooh, don't you like that finish? But that is obviously partly the blush, but also in combination with the Victoria Beckham. Ooh, I've dogged it up a bit, but luckily it's a balm, so I'm just going to wind it down and we'll just pretend that never happened. And then I'm also going to pop on Nectar as well. So I literally just go like this and just pop it here. It will disrupt makeup if it were like a matte makeup, you can put it on over powder, but depending on what products are being used, this will look cakey. So obviously I've kind of mastered, or I've tailored my look to being like so radiant, and so all the products have a similar balmy texture, so they work well in unison together. So I think that's important context, but I'm loving those. And moving on to eyeshadows. I love using this little eyeshadow palette that I put together after I got rid of my big MAC one. But honestly, don't know what I'm going to do, because I want to do something so simple. Anyway, going back to Japan, I'm not sure if it is actually a very stressful thing to plan, or it's just the way that I really ruminate and mull it over, because I have a family and I'm a woman, I do use a lot of emotional labour to consider what they might like to do, or what my family might feel like, where they might like to stay and things like this. And my family are very simple, and they'll be like, oh, I'll just sleep anyway, I don't care. But it's like, they are very used to a certain standard because of how I book things. So they think that things just fall into place, when, as we know, that is not how it works. I'm thinking of going to Tokyo and just staying there the whole time. And if we want to do day trips on the bullet train or whatever, I do actually feel like I'm too old for travel now. I feel that in your 20s is a good time to travel. I didn't do a lot of traveling because that's not what I prioritized, and I'm also not, like, I love the idea of traveling, but realistically I love to be at home. I love to be around my pets and just in my own space. So I would say I'm not a big travel person. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to see the world, but the reality of the situation is that I have to get off my ass and get out of my house, get out of my comfort zone. So I am a Taurus Venus at the end of the day. Honestly, the only times that I travelled in my 20s was when I'd like come over to Australia, and both times that we came over for holidays, our daughter was 2 or under, or like 2 and a bit, and then when she was 9 months, which is the perfect time to travel with a child in my experience, because it's so easy. They just go with the flow, and they wake up unbelievably early and they want to be awake. So it's actually so good because it gets you up and out of bed, gets into your activities. Whereas obviously my daughter she's a teenager now, so she likes to sleep in, but I don't think we'll have a problem getting out of bed like when we're on holiday and stuff. But I do think that the younger years, you know, traveling with the baby is so much fun, and a lot of this stuff is also free, so I think that kind of counts into my decision making. Now I've just used my 2 favourite shades, which are not on the back because I invented this palette, and it's Blanc Type and Malt, which are really great colours. So that's all I'm going to do at the moment, and then I might do a bit more imminently. So basically what I'm trying to allude to is that now that I'm pretty much mid-30s now, and I just feel very old for travel. I honestly used to just, like, when your frontal lobe isn't developed, you can just go with the flow a lot more. So my point is, we want to stay in Tokyo as the base and then travel from there, and then just trying to figure out everything and make sure that I'm making the right choices, like with where we're staying. It's like, although now that I'm actually saying all this out loud, I do realise that I'm probably just overthinking it a bit. This is just a little Revlon brow gel in like a brown, and it just obviously enhances the hairs at the front, because the hairs at the front on my eyebrows are just getting a little bit bald-headed, so to speak, so it's nice to have a little bit of enhancement. And another thing I want to do is like a makeup collection video, because I obviously haven't done one of those in a really, really long time, and I wish I had have done one when I had my Alex straws, because, well, I do have them, but they don't have makeup in them anymore. But yeah, when I had my Alex straws, because I had it all organised out so nicely, I just wish I had a video of that. You know, it's just so nice to reflect on, and like look at. See, I just used my gloss to get a hair off. I'm gonna set my makeup now, and I have been loving the NARS Iris Red Hairpin. This is a light reflecting prismatic powder in the shade Moonwave, and when you look at it, it's like the amalgamation of like the color correcting colored powders. So there's pink, yellow, green, blue. Now it's not a hugely pigmented color. I think it's just for the sense of color correcting. Does that make sense? Because I had really loved, and I still loved, the translucent crystal powder, and as you can see, it's pretty much finished. It's quite hard to get out, and it does mattify and set really well without looking powdery. This is truly actually translucent and actually, well, that's a big dog. You can probably hear me. Anyway, this is truly translucent. So I was going to just repurchase this one, which I still think that I will in the future, but then this is a limited edition one that came out at Christmas, and so I wanted to try it because when I try things, I swatch things meticulously over a period of a couple weeks before I purchase, because that's how much of an overthinker I am. So it's honestly really nice. I've got my little powder puff. Do I rate it more than the crystal one? Don't know. I think, don't know. I honestly don't know, because they honestly are the same thing. So I'm just gonna tap under my eyes just to remove any excess creamy products. And then I've got my tiny Morphe like little powder puff. This is so good because it really allows me to taper in and just powder where I need to, which I really struggled with the bigger powder puffs, is that I would just end up totally mattifying my blush, which kind of defeats the purpose because I've done all that effort to look quite dewy. So this is very good at just really applying where I need it. I sense they are a bit overpriced. I think they're $14 or $17 or something for a 3-pack. So depending on how often you use them, I really sense that could be a problem. But they are very cute. I don't know if you could get them on Amazon. And then I'm going to apply my powder here too. It's quite blurring. So that's what I look like so far. Pretty nice, right? The Victoria Beckham foundation is more like a skincare format. So when you put it on, you don't actually have to set it. And it will just wear away kind of like a skincare would. So after 6 to 7 hours, you're still going to look nice and glowy, but the coverage is going to wear away, if that makes sense. So you don't have to set it, but I am going to. And I really love the Light Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC. If you use a powder puff, you will create a lot of coverage. So if I were to just have a powder day, I could use this on a sponge to get quite a lot of coverage. And it's a really nice light reflecting colour. With MAC, I find a lot of their colours are too dark, too orangey, but this product isn't. So I'm very happy with that. And I'm just essentially setting mostly around the perimeter of my face, because this is where makeup wipes off, where my hair gets in there and it's a fucking nightmare. But I'm not going to apply more powder to the centre of my face. Sorry, that was just very addictive just then. And let's mist. So it is at this point that I'm going to mist with my airbrush spray. I got the duo pack for Christmas in my, I don't think it was in my stocking actually, but I've already used pretty much 3/4, or so actually I've used 2/3 of this in the span of less than a month. So you can now get the jumbo ones at Mecca, and I think on the Charlotte Tilbury website. Use my code for a discount, and then I get a discount on my next order. So even though I don't get a commission, I do benefit. Oh yeah, it's very addictive. You do not have to use that much. And that's why I'm running out. But what I need to do is buy the jumbo one, and then I can just fill up my minis, because you can fill them up. Unlike the Caudalie, which I can't refill and like pour into one another. So annoying. Ah, this feels good. personally fucking love it. I'm looking a little flat right now, but I'm going to put some blush on my nose like at the end of my look. But you can see that my skin, everything looks very natural, even though I haven't used a lot of contouring and stuff like this. I've used very subtle like products. So I think it still looks nice, but it's not heavy. Now, moving on to lips, I'm going to use Pillow Talk, and then I'm going to use the lip plumper that I have, which is actually in Pillow Talk medium, because these just look so pretty, and I will actually get into that in a second. Let me just line. Now, this is the little Plumpgasm, and it does tingle a little bit, but really, really not severely. Oh, bars. But yeah, not severely by any means. And the lips just plump a slight amount, and so it fills in the lines. You know how like natural lips have little lines in them from essentially shriveling up due to hormones over time probably. But you know, just naturally you've got lines in your lips, and so this just plumps the lips to the point that the lines fill up, so your lips look like just bitten or like a very subtle. So I really like that about it because it's not too tingly. I'm just adding a bit more colour to my eyes. I mostly only do the top lid, to be honest, these days. And then as for the rest of my month, well, actually I'm very excited for this round of movies, because obviously at the start of the year, I don't know what it is, but there's like, I suppose it's award season, so there's a couple of movies like coming up. But Marty Supreme, I initially didn't want to see that because I was a bit salty that he won the Critics' Choice Award and over Michael B. Jordan. Like, if you like, just personally, that's just my personal view. So I was a bit salty about that, and so I actually wasn't going to see it at all. But then I saw another trailer and I was like, actually I might like that, because A24, the studio that has produced it, they produced Baby Girl, and I do like the idea of the fact that they do more alternative type stories. So Baby Girl was very alternative, so it was a peek into an alternative life, I suppose. And then Marty Supreme, I mean, I feel that Marty Supreme is a little bit more of a, like, it's not as a unique of a storyline. So it's like a person with a dream, like, wow, the American dream, like we've seen that a million times. But I'm just kind of excited to see, I'm actually freaking forgetting who's in it. I want to say it's Cate Blanchett, but it's fucking not. It's Gwyneth Paltrow, but she looks like Cate Blanchett in this, which is a serious compliment. Not that Gwyneth Paltrow's ugly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Cate Blanchett is very beautiful. I feel I've dug myself into a hole there. As well as that, as Marty Supreme, so that's very exciting. Then we've got the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is coming to Village, well, not just Village Cinema, there's like event cinemas that are doing it. And it's the full trilogy, but it's the extended version. So it's 12 hours of viewing, which I'm so excited about, because the first movie I saw 3 or 4 times with my friend Brooke. This was obviously, it must have been the year 2001, I suppose, when I was at the cinema. And we got cheap deals at the movies, and we just absolutely loved it. I'm so excited to see Sean Bean again. Should I just leave after he gets fucking arrowed? I don't know. I'll have to sit and wait on that. Honestly, I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be, because it's in the premium cinema, which Village Premium sucks. Their normal standard is better. Oh, and my battery's dying. But anyway, I might just do a little wing. That wasn't little. Oh, fuck. And all I need for this look is actually some mascara, which I'm using the MAC Stack in Chestnut, which I got as a free gift. And I recently threw out the black MAC Stack that I had because it was very runny and would just get everywhere, which is not the experience that I'd had the previous time that I had it. So I think that the formula wasn't quite right. It wasn't off, it just wasn't right, because this brown one is absolutely fine. This is a very dark brown though, so it does look quite, it just looks black on my lashes, to be honest. But at least it doesn't smudge. So I love it when a free gift is practical and I actually use it. And the final step, I'm going to use Petal Power Mineralized Blush, which is a peachy pink with a tint, like a sheen to it. I'm going to use my little Morphe brush. And I'd like to, of course I could just use like bronzer on my nose as well, but this just helps, I think, tie the look in, because otherwise my nose just looks quite flat because I've got a very low nose bridge. So this just helps to kind of give a bit of a shadow. So it's like, oh, she has a nose, it's cute. And then just a little bit here as well. But you can tell I love a lot of blush. You can put it here too. Boom! That's my look. That's my finished look for the day. I'm ready to go to the movies. The movie is not until 7 o'clock. It's 1:30. So I've got so much time. So I actually need to do my one basket challenge down at Aldi because that's how I like to shop. I get my one basket and then I fill it up so I can only buy what I can carry. And then it just makes it so fun. And then you really, well, I really prioritize like the things that I actually need or actually like. So that's the fun I'll be having. And then I'll be having fun at 28 years later. And then I'll be having fun thinking about my Japan trip and how I'm going to best organise that. But until then, I'm also going to film my shoe unboxing / haul, which I'm so excited for. So stay tuned for that one. You can go and follow me on TikTok as well at dottydoes, but I don't post every day anymore and I haven't posted in a while, but every now and again I do post. So if you would like to follow me there, you can, and I'll see you in just like a tick because you can go and watch my unboxing.